Hi, welcome back. So if you are no stranger to this channel, then you know that any song or music video that has something to do with father-daughter relationships or parent-child relationships or children struggling with something, then those ones really tend to hit me hard. This is the thing, my thing that always tears me up. So I'm already going into this one expecting that to happen. And I can see from the thumbnail, I can see from some of the comments that people have written on my Somebody Save Me video that I know this is going to be a difficult listen. But that's okay. Music is meant to move us in some way, so let's check this out.
A lot of people ask me, am I afraid of death? The truth is, I think what scares me the most is not being able to say all the things I want to say to you when I'm no longer here. So this song is for Haley, for when that day comes. Where's Haley?
So that's interesting, isn't it? It's not the process of death itself that's scary. It's the missing out on everything that is important and meaningful in life, and also the inevitable impact it has on others. Now, I've lost people in my life and it really bloody hurts, and I don't want my children to experience that pain. I know they will have to, it's inevitable, it's part of the human condition, but I don't want them to feel that pain. It's horrible.
All the things I want to say to you when I'm no longer here. So this song is for Haley, for when that day comes. Where's Haley? Where's she at?
This ain't Haley.
Who is it?
It's someone.
I've been waiting all night for the sunrise to take away the dark sky.
Dad monster. And no more the baby monsters, and I'm the mom monster.
Did you hear that? That there's that playful nature of kids, pretending to be monsters. But even though in that pretend play, they're still framing it around a family group. There's a dad monster, then the baby monsters, and Hades playing the mum monster. This reminds me of my eldest when she was around this age. She went everywhere with this this kind of group of toy ducks, and there was always a mummy duck and a daddy duck and a baby duck. This was before her sister came along, and then there was another toy to represent our dog. But they all moved around the house together. They were always together in the play. And I guess the reason I bring this up is it just shows from an early age the importance of how kids structure their world. And they structure their world and where they see themselves in that, and how they fit, and how their family fits, how they're all in it together, and that connection and that togetherness, which obviously later gets torn apart when someone has gone.
Sunrise to take away the dark sky.
Dad monster. And no more the baby monsters, and I'm the mom monster.
All it takes is a new day sometimes to get me in a better state of mind.
Give me a kiss, monster. Love you.
If I could just fall asleep, I'd be lost in a dream. But right now it's misery, and I just have to remember that when a heart breaks, it ain't broken forever. The pieces will grow back together, and in time I'll be fine. The tears are temporary.
Yeah. So Haley.
In time, I'll be fine. Tears are temporary, and that's right, isn't it? To a degree, tears are temporary, which to me is trying to say that sadness of losing someone becomes easier to manage over time. But at the same time, is that your life doesn't go back to how it was. I'm not even convinced you remain the same person, but instead you evolve as a person. You change with it. You don't really have any choice. But whenever you get reminders of that loss, it hits you just as hard as it did the first time you experienced that loss. The tears are temporary, but the pain isn't. The pain always remains.
We'll grow back together, and in time I'll be fine. The tears are temporary.
Yeah. So Haley Jade, I wrote you this song to help you cope with life now that I'm gone. How should I start? Just wanna say, look after Elena, Stevie, and Uncle Nate. And sweetie, be strong. I know I was your rock, and I still am. Saying goodbye is just not ever easy. But why you crying? Just stop. Haley, baby, dry your eye, this is not forever.
Though when a heart breaks, it ain't broken forever.
Listen, gosh. Oh, listen to how clearly Eminem is rapping there. It's slow, isn't it? It's deliberate. It's very articulate. He wants Haley to hear every single word he's saying here.
Ever easy, but why you crying? Just stop. Haley, baby, dry your eye, this is not forever.
Though when a heart breaks, it ain't broken forever. The pieces will grow back together, and in time I'll be fine. The tears are temporary.
Daddy,
What?
when I used to have this, I was a little kid.
Baby, are you okay? Baby, are you okay?
Yeah, and you will get over me and move on. You can play me on repeat on a song, but don't you dare shed a tear what I tell you. Straighten up, little soldier. Them times when I held you, Jade, it'll be okay. Baby, I'm here, hey, I'm watching you right now. Baby girl, I vow I will protect you, your guardian angel. As hard as this may feel, us parting is painful. And darling, the rain will drive you insane still. You will remain strong. Haley, just hang on. It won't be too long. I need you to move on. And remember, it will get better. This time heals and winter.
When a heart breaks, it ain't broken.
Did you hear that almost anger in his voice? Anger because she is upset and he's watching from afar and he's up there with her. And then his voice softens when, he says, you need to move on. This is going to get better. Oh.
Haley, just hang on.
I love that bit where he said earlier that he will always be around in his music. She can always listen to him. What a gift to leave someone. Just something that will live on.
Be too long. I need you to move on. And remember, it will get better. This time heals and winter.
When a heart breaks, it ain't broken forever. The pieces will grow back together, and in time I'll be fine. The tears are temporary. The bad days will start to get better. Then we'll be laughing together. And tonight, when I cry, the tears are temporary.
I know this big girl, and she's really pretty. You know what her name is?
Haley.
Haley. How did you know?
Yeah, and if there's days where you wanna just lock yourself in your room and cry, just think about how when you were little, how you and I, back and forth to the studio, we used to drive. You strapped in the back seat, cause you were my little sidekick. Yeah, sweetie, I know this hurts. Bean, I'm wishing your pain away. Remember this, Haley Jade, there's gonna be rainy days. I promise you'll get through them and make it regardless. Fuck it, Jade, I'll be honest. I knew that you was gonna take this the hardest. Sweetie, get up. I know that this is breaking your heart. It's the hardest thing I've ever wrote. Haley, sweetheart, it's okay for you to let me go. Baby, I promise you that when I...
There's so much footage of her getting married, isn't there? Is this some symbolization of giving her away to another protector, another man who's going to protect her and love her and look after her? To me and my kind of learning experience and my history and my culture and my kind of tradition. This is a like a landmark time. You know, if you have kids, you help them navigate the world, you help them navigate the way into adulthood, and then you support them starting their own family. And part of that is getting married.
Sweetie, get up. I know that this is breaking your heart. It's the hardest thing I've ever wrote. Haley, sweetheart, it's okay for you to let me go. Baby, I promise you that
When a heart breaks, it ain't broken forever. The pieces will grow back together, and in time I'll be fine. The tears are temporary. The bad days will start to get better. Then we'll be laughing together. And tonight, when I cry,
There it is. Continuing the family. Grandpa Shady.
tears are temporary.
What's your favorite song?
My favorite song, favorite song.
Mine and your favorite song?
Radio. Like this part. What's your favorite part, Dad? You're taping me, bitch.
I got you on tape, cousin.
Can you hear?
Yep.
No, bitch.
I'm gonna have it.
What?
No, I said no, bitch.
Okay. No cousin. No cousin. No cousin. No cousin. No cousin.
Oh. Gosh, this is bringing up so much in my mind. Oh, it's bringing up. It's bringing up stuff about my own two little girls and how I'm not going to be around for them forever. It brings up thoughts about the children and adolescents I currently work with. And for those who don't know, I work with mostly adolescents who have experienced complex or developmental trauma. And when I see them, I can't help but to think what it was like for them when they were around this sort of age that we see in this video, and to think that they probably never got to have that playfulness of being a child. Instead of most of them were being chronically abused and neglected. They didn't have that connection with their parents that we see here in these videos. And quite often, one way I frame this around this idea of parenting is Dan Siegel's work of the 3 S's: seen, safe, and soothed. You know, is the child seen? Does a child feel safe? And does the child feel soothed? And soothed at this age really means co-regulation. So co-regulation with the parent. A parent is helping the child navigate those emotional experiences that are coming up for them so they can learn how to do that themselves in the future. And you just see that in bucket loads, don't you, in these just brief snapshots. And then there's Eminem trying to be the best father that he can, and despite that, he feels the pain that he won't be around for them forever. And I know Eminem has struggled with addiction in the past, with drugs and alcohol, I think, and has been close to dying through overdose, and then he went through rehab. And I know we can never truly understand someone else's experience, but I would bet my bottom dollar that his kids were a massive motivating factor in him getting help. And people need that. People need a reason to change. People need something to fight for. And for a parent, that is quite often their children. And when you ask yourself, and I do this regularly, ask myself, what sort of dad do I want to be to my kids? Just kind of generally, but also in the moments, you know, when I'm struggling myself and I'm tired and I've got a headache and I've had a bad day and my kids want to do something with me, and I ask myself, what kind of dad do I want to be in this moment? And I can usually put all my shit aside and still be there. But when you look more globally at your life and you think about what kind of dad do I want to be, you realize that that some of the shit that you do is completely at odds of how you want to be as a person. And that's a huge motivation to change, especially if it's something that's going to massively decrease your life expectancy or the time that you have. I feel for the kids that don't have that. I feel for the kids that don't have a parent that has the support to change themselves, because people can't do this alone. Right now, NF comes to mind, and you know, the tracks that he's put out about his mum and what that must have been like for him. These situations can get so complex and so difficult. And this idea of transgenerational trauma as well, which massively impacts the child. I don't want this to turn into a big kind of discussion. I just want to let this track be what it is, and that's very emotive, very touching, a very personal song that Eminem has given us here. If you do want to know more about complex trauma and developmental trauma, then and the work I do with kids, then check out my other channel, Therapy in Action. There's loads of content about trauma on there. I think that's it for this one. I don't think I have much more to say. I'm okay now. I've regulated myself. We're all good. Hope you're good. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Goodbye.